Welcome, everybody. My name is Jamie Hill. I lead the global Zoom phone business through our channel. I am originally from the deep South United States, and being from that area of the world, we're all big fans of football, and we grow up with it, we watch it, we play it, everything about football. However, when I come to the UK, every time I come to the UK, I always get asked about this enigma called American football. Because every time I'm here, we don't actually kick the ball that much. We sometimes kick the ball, and when we score points, it's sometimes 1 point, but then other times it's 3 points, and other times if we use our hands, it's 6 points. So quite confusing the sport, and so I always have these conversations about what it means and what it's like. So outside of being a fan of football and growing up in the middle of all that, I've been in telecom for about 25 years now. And during that time, I've witnessed this transition that we have from TDM to IP and now to cloud. And so we're kind of right in the middle of moving all of those prem solutions, whether it be TDM, to skip the IP and all the way to cloud. It's right in the middle of that transition where it started. And you can see that from some of the numbers. So if you look at the forward-looking 5-year numbers that Cavell has published, over the next, the compound annual growth rate is double-digit declines for both contact center, almost double digits, contact center and IP PBX. However, on the other side of that is the movement to UC as a service, CC as a service, where that is increasing by almost that same amount of margin. So you can very well see globally that and in EMEA, all of those lines and all of those seats are moving from on-prem to cloud. And that brings up the challenge, and that's the challenge for all of our service provider community, our service provider partners, is how do you balance that transition where you have highly profitable, depreciated on-prem assets versus moving to higher growth cloud solutions. Our customers are wanting it, our partners are wanting it, everybody's moving to cloud solutions as a result of many of the technological innovations such as AI. So how do you balance that as a service provider, and how do you build service offerings and programs to allow you to make that transition as seamlessly and as smoothly for yourselves, your business, and for your customers? That's where we created our service provider program. It is focused around allowing our service provider community, all of you, to essentially bundle, package, utilize Zoom Phone and the rest of the Zoom platform as you need in your bundled offerings. So you can take pieces of that, parts of that, put that into together with your own calling plans, with your own PSTN, your DDIs, and so forth, and put that into your own offerings. In fact, building upon that, not only leveraging phone, but also the capabilities of meetings, also the capabilities of contact center, and putting all of that together in a good, better, best offering that fits your strategy for your customers and your territories. The criteria for our program is essentially being the service provider, a definition, the registered carrier definition, doing cloud peering with us, so connecting to our platform through the cloud to be able to inject your numbers and inject your calling plans into your customer's tenant so that they can utilize that on their actual phones. To provide you with a OEM type of an agreement with volume licensing to give you a fixed cost over a period of time. And then the necessary enablement, the certifications, everything that can allow you to take care of your customers and own your customers, even though they're using a Zoom product underneath the hood. So the benefits, obviously, of that program are pricing incentives, preferential pricing throughout the entire platform, being able to leverage the entire platform for resale. It is to be able to provide, now that you have those certifications, to be able to provide that Tier 1 support. and have access directly into Zoom for Tier 2. So all of these enable you, is essentially a partner program that's different than all of our other partner programs that enable you to productize, enable you to take these solutions and make them your own, along with all of the other things, security network, PSTN, DIDs, SMS, and package that into your own solution. So Zoom Phone has continued to grow. It's now over 10 million. We're now over 10 million seats. We just hit that milestone just last couple of months, actually right before the Cavell conference in DC. We hit this milestone. We're well on our way to 11, so you're starting to see the ramp and the acceleration happen on the number of seats globally that this is that our customers are consuming. And a lot of it is because of AI. A lot of it is this transition to AI and how AI is enabling phone and enabling our capabilities of communication. And for Zoom, we started with what we called AI Companion 1.0, which is your simple. Most of the industry did this as well, but most of it's your simple summaries, your meeting summaries, summarizing documents, and so forth. And then we quickly moved into pulling in all sorts of information, correlating different sources of information. So instead of just summarizing a single meeting, now you can summarize every single meeting around a topic. Or you can pull all of the emails and all the calendar invites and all of the participants and all the communications through chat and through other sources into those summaries and get a holistic picture of what's going on. This also extends now to phone calls, to be able to take phone calls and summarize some of those phone calls, which I'll show you in a second. But now on 3.0 is moving into this phase of agentic, and that is to be able to create actual agents that specifically perform a task as if they are a hired or an individual person doing that task. So all of that capability kind of laid the groundwork for agentic, and now we can do live on our platform today custom AI companion, and allows you to take advantage of this agentic movement that goes far beyond just contact center and voice and so forth. So where I'm going to transition to is outside of I've talked a little bit about program aspects, a little bit about history, a little bit about myself, but I'll transition to what is the reason that all of our customers are so interested in moving to the cloud and so interested specifically in Zoom Phone for those 10 million seats and so forth. And the theme that I would like to leave you all is essentially that we're making what is old new again. And what you'll see throughout this is that telecom, voice services, phone calling has been around for 100 years, over 100 years. And we're actually making that brand new in some of the capabilities and layering AI on top of that. So the first thing, in line with what we just saw on Zoom AI Companion 1.0, is the summaries. We can do phone call summaries, so you can see the summary of who and what you talked about when you're making a call on Zoom Phone. Very, very useful, especially in the fact that most of our phone calls today, if they're not video meetings or video meetings at the desk or chat at the desk, but when you're making phone calls, you're typically on your mobile device. You're wandering around, you're driving, you're in a train, you are mobile, moving from one place to another. You don't have a pen, you don't have a pad, you don't have anything to write anything down. So wouldn't it be nice if AI could just listen and summarize all of your conversations and give them to you after that, so you do not have to take notes and you do not have to follow up? Well, that's AI 1.0, and that is what we're doing today with Zoom Phone. But let's take that a little bit further. Along the same theme of AI moving into 2.0, why not just take all your calls, make all of your calls throughout the entire day, and at the end of the day, have AI then summarize the entire day. What are all my action items? Who all did I talk to? What are all the things I need to follow up for the next day across all of those phone calls? And then let's take it a little step further and actually be able to talk to AI while you're on a call. So how many people here are on conference calls and kind of half pay attention? I know I certainly do. Half pay attention sometimes and multitask and bring up chat and email and do other things. And then the next thing you know, you've missed 15 minutes of the meeting and somebody's calling your name and you don't know what they're talking about. Well, you can actually ask AI to catch you up on the meeting. So live, right there within the meeting, you can get AI on a phone call, on a conference call, on a live meeting, on a video meeting, whatever it is, get caught up so that you're not falling behind, even though you have been multitasking like I tend to do. How many people here still use voicemail? 2, 3. I have probably 30 unread, unaccepted voicemails on my phone. So it's just something that I don't do. I don't use it. I don't leverage it. Even with transcription helped make it a little bit easier, but I still actually don't really use it. However, AI is now changing some of that. AI is making voicemail actually useful again, because now I can take all of my voicemails, instead of just reading through the transcriptions or going through them one by one on visual voicemail, I can just ask AI to give me the summary of all my voicemails so I don't have to go through those 30 and listen to them. Task detection as well, so it'll pull out the individual numbers, pull out who I need to call back, and just give me that in a very, very concise, quick manner. So this is my favorite one, and this is kind of where I think AI is going. But wouldn't it be nice if, instead of playing phone tag with someone back and forth, which we all do, that you can actually have voicemail recognize the caller because they're in your contact list, have a custom message based on my calendar, based on your calendar, that says, thank you for calling. It could be even in my voice. Thank you for calling. Jamie's not available right now. However, looking at his calendar, at 3:30 p.m. today, he does have an opening. Would you like to schedule a meeting so he can call you back at 3:30 p.m. today? Would that work? Yes, no. And then speak back to that AI agent on the voicemail. And instead of leaving an actual message, you schedule a meeting. That is truly making voicemail useful again. That is making what is now old brand new again. Online fax. Fax is probably one of the oldest technologies. We keep saying it's going away, but it really isn't. And it continues to live on. So we incorporated fax into the platform with our standard Zoom phone packages. But what's most important with that is that you can now have some of those fax information ingested by AI and summarized and leveraged in other ways. So who all sent a fax and pulled that into the platform as well. Aura integration for Avaya, also on Mitel, to be able to use Zoom Phone as a soft client to pull in some AI capabilities onto some of the on-prem platforms. It enables some of the migrations. It enables some of the integrated hybrid stories that a lot of our customers are asking for. And then Microsoft Teams. I like to joke that we do Microsoft Teams Phone better than Microsoft does Teams Phone. So I know they're coming up after me, so I like to joke a little bit about that. But a full integrated client experience for Microsoft Teams right there in the UI, and the same for contact center. So contact center agent experience right there in Microsoft Teams also. And then lastly, one of our favorites that is, again, making kind of what is old new again, is to be able to do call back within simple, regular call queues. Right there on Zoom Phone. How many times have you had customers that need workflows where they need some sort of camp functions, or I'm dating myself when I say camp, but call back right there within the queue for not deploying an entire contact center and an entire contact center workflow. And then lastly is AI intent routing. So this is back to going into that 3.0 realm of AI companion and being able to do intent-based routing. So recognizing what a customer is calling in for, or what a caller, it could be internal as well, what a caller is calling in for, and doing intent-based routing to have sort of a next generation IVR, and not even have to have an IVR now because you've got AI routing the calls based on perceived intent and so forth. So then lastly, around putting this all together. All of your call details are available within Zoom chat. All of your voicemails, all of your capabilities that you've rolled out on the phone side available right there in chat. So you can see the entire history of how you've had a conversation with a person or with a group, whether it be a video meeting or a phone call. And then Zoom Mail and integration, whether it's Google Mail, whether it's Microsoft Outlook and Exchange. We have a mail client that can interface with that. And for the small businesses out there that want to deploy that all on their own, we have our own mail service also. But this is all in the spirit of pulling all that information in together so that AI can now give a holistic picture on what is going on and how to make your day as a worker more productive overall. So what's next? Please come meet me and the rest of the team out in the Zoom booth, and also please come join our Partner Exchange roundtable later on today, and we can have a lot more focused and detailed conversations about where this is going, what the vision is, and what the future may look like. So thank you all for the time, and it's great to meet everybody and see everybody again.